Thanks for staying with us. So joining us on the show is the former governor of Imo State, Senator Rochas Okorocha. He'll be speaking on issues, diverse issues, from state of the nation to insecurity, his impasse with the current governor of Imo State, Senator Hope Uzodinma, and it's called all the other issues with him and his state. Join us as we welcome the former governor of Imo State, Senator Rochas Okorocha. Welcome to the show, sir. Hello, sir. Are you there?
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure having you.
Yes, very much there. Thank you very much. I can hear you.
All right, so let's start with your most recent declaration for president. Everybody was excited to hear of your interest. However, what's happening in your party? Because it seems like they've not totally agreed on this selection of who their candidates will be. So what's going on within your party? And juxtapose that with your desire to become president. Do you think you have a chance within the party to get the ticket to represent your party presidential candidate?
Well, thank you. First, I'd like to, when you talk about party, you're talking about nation, Nigeria. When you talk about election, you're talking about Nigeria. I start by saying, God bless my country. God bless Nigeria. I love this country. Answering your question, one, what's happening in my party, the APC, is very common with Nigerian politics, and it's not peculiar with APC. I think this is what we've been trying to get right since the inception of democracy. We're going to have a convention. This has been changed, and all because I guess the party is trying to put our house together and see how these positions will ensure unity within the party. If you recall, this party was formed by 4 major groups. The CPC, led by our President Muhammad Buhari, then former head of state, Asuwaju Ahmed Tinubu, who led the ACN, and the leaders of NPP, there are so many of them, who led the NPP into the merger, and of course, my humble self, who led the APGA. And that was the 4 pillars upon which this party was built. And what we did at that time that made us get it right, or we got it right rather, is that we shared these positions among those 4 founding parties, and it was very peaceful. But and this, I think, this is what we should do now to get back to the basics for the foundation to get it right. But if where you conduct an election now, one of the group might find themselves cheated out or not even having a single position, and that would begin to get crack in the party. So I think the leadership of our party will consider this, and that will bring the best of the convention you can ever imagine.
Okay.
Senator, sir, recently you went to see the president on the EFCC continuous harassment, as you put it, of your person, and their insistence on not obeying court order. So you have a subsisting court order restricting them from prosecuting you or, investigating or prosecuting you. And you insisted that they must obey that court order. And because of that, you went to see the president. You also said in that report, or you were alleged in that report, to believe that there's someone behind the EFCC's continuous harassment of you. Who would you suspect to be behind it, and why do you think so?
Well, my story with EFCC has been a long one, and it didn't start with the present chairman. But it's something that started when I was a governor. Just 5 months to my finishing as a governor of Imo State, the EFCC, for what they called an allegation, freezed the entire account of Imo State. For the EFCC was run salaries to the workers directly. I'm not allowing them to access money for food for 3 months. And that was really the worst of the sign I saw. That was actually what led me to go to court. And I said, if this gentleman could start this way, then it means there are bad plans about what to do with me immediately I hand over office and once I lose immunity. That was what made me go to court. And I got that court order at that time. Then when the EFCC came to court, they said they had no issue with me. So I was wondering. But shockingly enough, when the government of Imo State, then who wrote that petition, even when they were not the government? Now, for some reason, wrote petition to EFCC and got EFCC to investigate me. Why they also set up a panel to investigate me? See, I was being investigated on the same issue of administration by Imo State government and by EFCC. That again took me to court to say, listen, this is double jeopardy. Who should actually investigate me? I'm up for investigation, but can I have one person? Not today, somebody is investigating. I'm not where I'm being called here. And ICPC had also investigated me while I was in office at that time on the same matter. So that was what made me went to court. And the matter was still in court when the EFCC announced that I've recovered 5.9 billion naira from my account. That came to me as a huge shock. And I demanded to ask, where is the 5.9 billion? I wrote to the EFCC, I addressed the press. Today, EFCC have not been able to show me why they got the 5.9 billion. But meanwhile, my name has damaged all over the world. Somebody who took 5.9 billion. Then again, I wrote a petition to the Attorney General's office asking, why am I under such a humiliation? And luckily enough, the Attorney General's office wrote to EFCC to say, are they aware of these matters that I caught in this order? Within that period, I got arrested by EFCC again, and I was locked up for 2 days. And when I found out that they seized my passport, when I found out the letters from my Tanzania's office wasn't working, my court order wasn't working, the matter being subsidies was not working, I went again to court in Port Harcourt, demanding for my few human rights, addressing these issues. Now, EFCC has prejudged me, and EFCC has disobeyed the court order, and the EFCC is aware I'm in court over which to investigate me, and they have gone ahead to investigate me. And arrested me and marked my properties. Some of them I got over 30 years ago. So that was why I got a judgment against the FCC. Right. When I got that judgment against the FCC, and the EFCC now came back again on the day I was declared and announced that I've been charged to court, which I have not been served. So I think that's why I believe that some people somewhere were actually doing this evil. And you know, EFCC must investigate, no matter how rubbish the allegation is. They must investigate them as well before.
All right, great.
Okay, distinguished senator, we have read in the news over and over since since you left office as governor, it seems like you and the current administration seem to be at loggerheads. And when we're talking of things like unknown gunmen, just fighting in your state, we've had the current governor say that there are some big people behind it. Even though no names were dropped, some people thought that it may mean because of you, because of the relationship that you have right now. Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard for you and the current administration of your state to have a smooth transition? Governors come, governors go, and even though different parties, but the people of Imo State should be more important than the politics. Why is there so much, there seems to be, at least based on reports, there seems to be so much friction between you?
Well, you see, when people ask this question, it makes me feel like a student that's been taught on behavioral pattern. And that, again, makes me feel bad. I must say that. Because what is happening in the state is clearly uncalled for and very, very unfortunate. At this level of my life, at this attempt to discuss issues, trivial issues that does not help developmental programs in any way, kind of makes my heart bleed. But I think I found myself in such a helpless situation where I wouldn't know what to do. I should have been the person talking like you're asking this question. If there are two kids fighting over a matter that they shouldn't fight over. But the question you should have asked when these allegations come in, how come from my 8 years in office, there was absolute peace and security? That's a simple answer. Question you could ask, and you find the answer. And why is it that current government has come and there are killings and people on daily basis? I think if you might take his scriptural perspective, you say, when the wicked is in power, the people mourn. Or my people perish for where there's no vision. I don't know, because I don't know any fiscal answer to give you. But say that Rochas or Okorocha, for what you might know about me, that I am a peace-loving person and I cannot hurt an act. I love people, I love the people, I love the needy. All that preoccupies my mind is to go out how to look for poor children anywhere they can be and see how I can improve with their life and help the widows and everything. My 8 years as a governor, people were happy, smiling. Widows could no longer look for money to pay for their children's school fees or sell their household to pay for school fees. I made education free. Peace returned. I engaged the youth to work, even when they became crazy, as which is normal. Because when you don't provide jobs for youth, you must engage them, at least to be patient. Because that energy they have is a called youthful energy. And where they don't exactly positively, they must take it with negative extremism.
Right,
so this is what we will say. So the question about of whether we are quarreling or there's nothing to quarrel about. I have no issue with the government whatsoever, and that is my word of honor. I'm rather on the defensive. But what can you say about a man who is being treated, pushed, harassed, his in-laws and relations being harassed everywhere? What do we do? And I have come on public television that I want peace. I just scream on my back there, say, let peace reign in England.
All right.
I have said this self-actually. This will I do.
Let me go on a quick break, sir. When we come back, we continue with this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We still have the former governor of Imo State with us, Senator Rochas Okorocha. Sir, are you still there? Yes.
Yes,
yeah.
I'm here.
Now, many have said that in the beginning, everything was good when you were governor, you know, under APGA, that the downturn in your state was seen after you moved on to APC, and there were lots of changes within your state. My question to you, sir, is do you think today APC has favored you as a person, as a politician, considering the fact that many people in your state at the time believed you, and I'm trying to use the right word, you went to the state, to the party on your own terms, not some on their own terms, not your own terms. What would you say to your being in the APC party as of today? Has it been beneficial to you as a politician?
Well, what I did with APC was display of courage. By the time I left APGA for APC, APC was one of the most unwanted parties in the Southeast. And so the name APC was a bad news in all parts of Southeast. But I saw the future. And I saw that my people needed to play in the bigger waters than to be seen for the APGA regional party. Already, an Igbo man suffers this image of, being a small entity or a group of people that are unto themselves alone. So I tried to build this bridge back. But it was not without some pains, which I did. Which I had. So my winning election in Imo State under APC could be said to be adjudged as the highest level of popularity and acceptability by the people. So people voted me at that time, not because of the party, but because of that. And you believe in me that I wouldn't take them very well back. Just unlike my colleagues from the north, everyone that won election because of President Mohamed Buhari. And anybody that won in the southwest that won because of Tinubu. But I won because of myself. and not because...
Senator, let me stay on you for a minute on this, because what are your takes on this issue of South Igbo presidency? I mean, many have said that rightfully, for the sake of equity, the pendulum should tilt or should go to the southeast. But your party is telling us categorically that they've agreed for the south. They didn't say southeast or south-south or southwest. They just said south. In your view, what are you doing, or do you think, or do you agree that the pendulum should come to the southeast? And what are you doing to ensure that the southeast does indeed get the ticket?
Okay. I can answer. Let me answer the brief on this question. So this has been overflowed, and I think this should be an old discussion now. First and foremost, when you talk about Igbo presidency, we don't have Hausa presidency, neither we don't have Yoruba presidency. When this is captioned like Igbo presidency, as if you have a president to run Igbo affairs, it's not what it is.
Okay, we're having a bit of technical issues as always. I think we might have to go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll try to resolve this, and we'll come back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
To staying with us, so we're having serious network issues in connecting with Senator Rochas Okorocha. So I'm told he's now on the phone. Sir, can you hear me? It's a bit low. Can you hear me, sir? Okay, it's hard to hear you properly. Maybe the volume is low. You're responding to my question concerning APC zoning the presidential candidate to the southeast. Okay.
Let me just go straight to your question about zoning.
Yeah.
I said there's no point trying to trivialize the matter by saying Igbo presidency, just like we don't have Yoruba presidency, Hausa presidency, Efik presidency. We have a nation, one nation called Nigeria, and we should be proud of this country.
Okay. Go ahead.
In my case, I'm not running for president as an Igbo man. I'm running for president as a Nigerian, and I'm not going to lead Igbos. I will lead the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But what we're talking about here is equity and not democracy. Equity for peace, equity for unity. Because if you talk about democracy, democracy will always allow you to, those with the highest number should always continue to rule. But we're talking about equity, that Nigerians may remember that after the tripod upon which this nation is built, this particular leg of the tripod has never been given opportunity to try to lead the affairs of this country. Right. So the feelings down east is that if Nigeria not find out of 40 million persons, one person who can at least lead this country, I might be surprised that the new Nigerians have been waiting for might eventually come from the east, the Nigeria of our dream. So I think equity should be seen to be done. But where that is not in the minds of the people and everyone want to contest, Rochas Okorocha, is up to task, and I'm running because of what I think I have upstairs, and not because of the name either.
All right, because we run out of time, let me throw in a few more questions for you. Yes.
Okay, so, in the past, because you mentioned your relationship with the present governor of Imo State, you also mentioned that you have implored him to allow peace reign. I would like to ask, what was your objective? Did you think it was a good decision during the elections to field your son-in-law against him and not support him, because your son-in-law still had another party platform where you supported against him in the elections? Was it a good decision at the time, and was it about the Imo State people, or was it family decision?
Well, I'd like to, first and foremost, I'm sure you know what is called an in-law. An in-law is that person that you may not have known about his background, his birth, about anything about him, but eventually finds your son or your daughter and fell in love, and both of them have agreed to get married. And that, in the first place, wasn't your arrangement, but a divine arrangement. But remember that the same person comes from a different family background, different rotation, and he's a man on his own. So for me, it sounds absurd when people say, I took my son-in-law. The gentleman always feels insulted because you are removing the man in him as if you cannot take a tuition. Uche was running for that election. It wasn't my making. If I had my way, I would say Uche don't do it wrong because he's making the governorship of Imo State even bring up my proud person never to go to government house. But Uche was too popular that even asking him not to run would be a minus for the party. It was too acceptable among the youths. It was his own making. He made it, and he was the best among all of them. That is why, even despite the fact that he went, after he was denied his ticket in APC, by then who is the party, he went to a party and won. Uche came first. Uche beat both PDP, and the present governor was number 4 distant position. So how would I be talking about man? Am I not an in-law to somebody?
Right.
What is wrong? So I think this nation should talk about something.
Sir, sorry to stay on this question. This is about my opinion on this. You were the governor at the time, and both of them were like your sons. Was it not possible that, because he lost at the primaries in the APC, you'd have advised that he stays, supports the present governor till, after the elections and then wait another turn? Could that have been possible? Did that idea cross your mind?
At what point?
After he lost in the primaries with the APC.
At the point they were running for election, the current governor was not in the calculation. He was not even one of the, nobody believed that he was even running for election. It was very unpopular to start with. Uche came first, Emeka Hena came second, Arume came third, before Hope came fourth. But when what happened through technicalities happened at the court, Uche was one of the first people to go and support him. I even went to support him. I was sick. I had food poisoning. I had drip on my hand. I covered myself with Babariga to go and witness his being sworn in as a governor. So we have shown every support. I showed, Uche showed, everybody showed. So it's not about whether or not supporting. It's a different kettle of fish. But I think what I understand is that there are players of the game who might think that by distorting my base, that will give some kind of disadvantage for the project I have for Nigeria. But
all right.
Listen, the project I have for Nigeria is much more better.
All right, let me get a few more questions in for you, sir. Go ahead, Mariam.
Okay, so yes. Talking about your candidacy, because that's where we are today, the present-day Nigeria is one of insurgency in the north, constant kidnapping on our roads, widespread poverty, millions of out-of-school children, and an administration that seems to be struggling to handle it or even understand it. What do you think you will be bringing to the table? What are the experiences and achievements you think you have that would make a difference if you were elected president?
Thank you. I think this is one of the best questions that I thought I'd be talking about. And these issues of EFCC, Imo State, those things are no longer issues before. I'm looking ahead of this great country called Nigeria. And I like the question I've asked because I'm not opportune to listen to your program, this widely used program. And you make an concern, right? When you express your concern and I listen to you, I just laugh. I say, my people are dead for lack of knowledge. Because the truth is, if you don't understand the problem of the country, you cannot bring the solution. And I like what you just asked about what experience. Now, experience comes with track record, who you are before becoming what you want to be. What I'm bringing to bear in this country is passion and vision. And that's what I think I have. If I don't have this, I have no business with them. And when you talk about insecurity, you talk about poverty, lack of power, the question I will ask you is that, what is it that Nigeria has? Or what is it that America has that Nigeria does not have? What is it that Japan has that we don't have? Or what is it that UAE has that we don't have? Even Korea of yesterday. This question is asked. There's nothing God has given to America that is not given to Nigeria more. There's nothing God gave to Japan that didn't give to Nigeria more. What we lack is management of the resources God has given to us. And there are two resources given by God to mankind. It is called human and material resources. These are two free gifts of nature. So when you hear about this crisis, it's all in the center point between human and material resources, which I have developed to be the reason why we are where we are today. Nations that have managed their human and material resources effectively are called developed nations. Those that have failed are called poor nations. So, my dear, your problem is not insecurity.
All right, Senator, because of time, I need to ask you this question. Because of time, I need to ask you this question. Because of time, I need to ask you this question. In your view, what do you think President Buhari could have done better? Many people have complained that he hardly speaks to us, and he hasn't been able to harness the resources on all the various regions. You know, yes, he's done quite a bit on agriculture. We've seen that. They're building a few more roads. But Nigerians still say there's poverty in the land. In the midst of all he's trying to do in his accomplishments, the average man on the street is still saying, I can't feel it. So what do you think he's doing wrong, and how would you do that better, specifically?
Well, this question is Buhari, and he's a man on the stand. Buhari has not finished his examination. He has one more year to go. I will make serious comments about Buhari when he has finished his exam. Nigerians can mark it. But the point I'm making is, and you have just said it, Buhari has done the much has done in agriculture infrastructure, but it's still not enough. It's still not enough. What I would do, and that's why I want to advise that what I would do things a bit different. For instance, I would say that there will be free education in Nigeria. How about that? To start the human capital development so that every child counts. I would say that, and I will do it. But how can I do it? Ask me, track record. I've done it before as president of Rochas Foundation, with over 5,000 children in schools in Oyo and all parts of this country. What children who haven't gone to school? So that's what I mean by vision for somebody. If I say I have vision for free education, believe that I can do it. If I say I can create wealth, believe me, I can create wealth and engage the youth. I've done that in Imo State, I've done that. If I tell you that I'm going to do something with it or nothing, I can do it. You see, these are different gifts to different people.
All right.
And so when you ask what I'm bringing what I call the vision to turn around the economy of Nigeria to make a new Nigeria.
All right. Go ahead, Lima.
Presently, there's difficulty in the land in the sense that, Nigerians are queuing again for a product abundantly rich in our country. We have crude oil, but we are queuing for petrol here. And the NNPC are saying they are sorry. They failed to inspect, and this is here. How do you think we can solve a problem of the scarcity in the midst of abundance in terms of PMS in our country? If you were president, would you immediately think of building a refinery, connecting our country by pipelines or whatever to transfer our crude oil to the refineries? What solutions do you know? I want a specific. What solution do you think is the best? What would you do? Is it so difficult to have that?
It is not difficult at all, my dear. This again, bring up a vision. Now, this country was long overdue for indigenous technology. We have the best brains in this country. We have the best brains. That's why you see people using buckets to refine oil. This is it. This is education. This is something that people are telling you, look, allow us, we can do it. Let's use our local method to do it. But let me tell you, the confusion is that it comes from the point of view of over-centralization. Imagine where one company buys the entire fuel for everybody to consume. So once there's bad fuel bought by them, the whole nation is in trouble. This must be checked. There's absolute need for decentralization of our economy. That's the solution. If I have to do APC, because in our but I'll give you more insight to it. Like this, they call oil subsidy, and where government has to pay 2.7 trillion now coming to National Assembly for them to pay for oil subsidy.
Exactly.
Now that again, it makes me laugh. It means that something is wrong somewhere. Now, let me ask you a question. Now, let me ask you so we can engage in discussion for the benefits of those who are listening, who have 36 days plus a vote. Our governors and FCT have listened. What if Lagos is a country? Can't Lagos take care of its fuel? When would this oil subsidy have come into place? That's another systematic corruption which nobody talks about in this country. What is wrong with even Ogun State having their own department of agriculture to bring in their food? And no, have you checked how many cars actually consume this 2.7 trillion, 2.5 trillion naira what government is paying for that? By the time they come to see it, you see that maybe we'll fuel an individual car in this country for 200,000 naira every day. That's
we have very little time. Senator, unfortunately, I have to pause you because we have 2 more questions for you. Go ahead, Mariam.
So I
Sorry.
have this question. Having been born and brought up in Jos, I cannot but talk about the impact of your foundation for underprivileged children, orphans. We saw the work that you did there, and the fact that it was, there was no cultural or religious bias for the people that you helped. We have a problem with education or lack of education in Nigeria as of today. Many of the ills of our society can be traced to the fact that many of our children are out of school. How would you scale up what you do with your foundation, what you do with education for Nigeria as a whole?
Again, Nigerians don't even understand what you mean by education. You have to redefine education because you think education is communication in English language. It's not education. Education is like a catalyst, turning your potentials into kinetic force to bring the best out of you. That's education. So people thought that education means that you must have well-defined classroom and arrange chairs, and that is education because you can speak English. That's a wrong education, and it's not tailored towards the productive sector of the economy. That's our goal from Sokoto to Kwara is lying dull. Our uranium in Gombe is not working because we don't have refinery because education is bad, and we think only those who speak English. There are so many educated interests in Nigeria who communicate only English language but cannot use that English language to help in the productive sector of the economy. That's a problem. So, and today we have 14-point-something million out of school children for crying out loud. What are they doing there that cannot go back to school? What does it take for government to say every child must go back to school? Even if the school you are going to is a school of clothing, school of painting, school of tiling, school of hair bagging, school of washing, dry cleaning. Right. There must be school for something.
Okay.
So
finally.
Next time, my dear, please give me time to explain spending. You're not helping the society, and I helping this whole Nigerian program.
Right. So as we wrap up, I need to find out your thoughts because Asiwaju has declared his presidential ambition, and I know you're friends with him. So how has your relationship with him been so far since you also declared? Are you guys still friends, and do you think he has a better chance or you have a better chance?
Well, let me say something. The one thing that I condemned recently is the campaign of calumny against Asiwaju. I think Nigerian campaign should be based on issues, not on person's health or person's age and stuff like that. I don't believe in that. I believe that vision should count. And most people that you see in this country have ambition, they have no vision. If you come to practicality of vision, most of them will resign. Some of them are seeing only 2023. They don't see beyond 2023. I, Rochas, Okorocha, have vision. I see beyond 100 years to come in this country. And my project is to lay foundation for that 100 years to come. Okay. This is different. When I sit down with Asiwaju one-on-one, I like to profile his solution for this country, and I tell my own, if his is better than mine, I'll subsume my vision.
Okay.
Vision for him.
Thank you.
See, I don't want us to go by the issue of semantics.
Right.
It should bring practical solution. And different, you should ask, who were you? What have you been able to do for yourself, your community without government? Or are you a manager or a cashier who simply can spend government funds to give contract, and that makes you think you have achieved anything? That is not Rochas. Rochas is the creator of work, and that ambition, not ambition.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us on the show today. Thank you. We've been speaking with the former Governor of Imo State, Senator Rochas Okorocha. Thank you very much, sir. It was a pleasure having you on the show. I hope you enjoyed yourself with us. And
I do. Next time, I'd like to talk about families with you, because I like your program. Forget about this politics. I work in health.
We can schedule you back.
This time. Yes, for family issues only, and what can make society better.
Great, we love that. So bring on Senator, on a Thursday, we'll bring you, because that's when we talk about family issues. So it will be great to hear your perspective.
Okay,
so
bring me on Thursday, and you'll be surprised where the problems are for this country, and the role that you women must play where men has failed.
Oh, we can't wait. We can't wait. Our producer will schedule it. Thank you so much, sir. It's a pleasure having you. That's all we can take on the show. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.